Okay, this thing has become an anthology. It wasn't something that I chose to do. This is part 5 of. If I can find the damn thing. Stop dating non-black people who aren't down with or who are silent about our struggle, Ebony. I was commenting on some comments and my video got interrupted because of my niece's inability to have respect. I don't know where I left off at. So we're just going to make this the final video. I'm going to find one more of these damn things. And a comment from user 604. Do brown or town bodies count too? And I can't give him the thumbs up because I'm brown and tan. Because I'm truly high yellow. And there's Sherry. She makes a valid comment. It's on black people who they date. And I can't comment on hers either, but she is also correct. And then there's L Freeze. Well, what do you expect when you date a white girl that only dates black guys? That is interesting. That is an interesting one, and I think I should say something to him other than cool, because it is cool. But the thing is, one, if you dating a girl who only dates black guys, how do you approach that? Because some people only date out of their race, and you can't judge them for that because you don't know what their situation is. Maybe they are only attracted to people of color. Maybe they have the same problem I have, where they've had bad experiences in dating in their own race, but that was because once I found that I was mixed, I don't really have a race. All right, because I'm in all of your races. And the thing with that is that some people only date out of their race because those are sometimes the only people who accept them. Asian people accept me more than most black people and most white people. And that's just been a fact. It's not me being a dick about that shit. But that's also because they're not sure what the fuck I am. But yeah, let's see. Let's give you one more. There's no struggle, just a bunch of violent, loud, worthless whiners. Drumhailer. I think he might be a little wrong on that. But from his point of view, I understand where he's coming from. Because that's why I'm going to give him a thumbs up. And I'm also going to tell him he's right and he's wrong. Somebody gave him the finger. Okay. He's right and wrong at the same time. But he's closer to wrong. I'm going to say he's on the fence. I think he's on the fence. And the reason why I'm going to say I think he's on the fence, because there comes a point in time where you get tired of hearing people whine about shit instead of actually doing shit. And see, if he's looking at it from that point of view, where he's like, look, I understand where you guys are coming from. I understand that the struggle is real, but change the subject. Stop whining about it. If there's something you can do to change the situation, you change the situation. If you choose to just keep whining and whining and crying and whining, and you're not doing anything to change the situation, it's kind of like you said, you're kind of just whining about it. So he's right and wrong on the subject. He's on the fence because he's probably tired of hearing about it, but he's also part of the struggle of not helping people do something about it. You see where I'm going with that? He's a double-edged sword with the knife in your back turning, because he's tired of hearing people struggle and whining about it, but he's also not doing anything to help people not whine about it. That means, okay, so let's put it this way. I'm a young white man. I have a black friend who's always talking about how white people have white privilege, white power, white privilege, white power. He can't get a job that I can go get because I'm white, he's black, and he's whining about it. Okay, so let's say I make manager, and I give him the job. Now it's up to him to take the job and run with it, or lollygag and use our friendship as a crutch because he's afraid that I'm not going to fire him. Wrong bet. Because if I got you the job and I'm the manager, don't think for a New York minute that I won't fire you. Situation with my losing of my job at Brown's, when I worked there detailing cars. My cousin was my immediate supervisor. And I told him if it came down to me being fired or him being fired, then let it be me because I don't have kids and he has kids. So if I'm fired, I'm okay with that. And if he has to fire me, I'm okay with that. It didn't come down to that. My job got terminated. They killed my entire position because it was just something they did. The truth be told is that they had to find a legal way to fire me because I was a person who don't have a problem brown nosing, but I'm not going to lick your asshole. If you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong, and I'm sorry, I'm going to hold my guns because I was bullied a lot in school, and I just refuse as a grown person to be bullied on jobs at all. That is unacceptable, which is the same reason why I was in the Army when I got transferred to Delta from Gulf because I went back to Bravo and I refused training. And I straight told him, I said, no, if I go back over there, I'm going to kill those two drill sergeants. I'm going to kill Drill Sergeant Walsh and I'm going to kill the other guy because they were abusing their power and they were bullying me. And a person who has been bullied, when you're grown, you don't have to take that shit. Even if you're in the Army, you don't have to take that shit. But no one in Bravo Company seen it my way. I tried to explain it to them, and I was all kinds of bitches and punks and all this other shit. And I said, let me explain this to you, to the captain who was in charge. And I said, Captain Lutz, whatever. I said, there's many a men out here that got a lot of fight in them. I'm going to say, and all y'all soldiers are great, but don't think for a New York minute that I can't whoop y'all ass. No. And I said this in a respectful manner. He's like, and what makes you think you can beat anybody's ass in here? I said, well, with all due respect, you guys were trained how to kill with a gun. I was trained how to kill with my hands. Those soldiers, man, that they had no business with the rank they have abusing me. I was bullied as a child, and I'm older than them. I don't take being threatened lightly. I said, what do you mean? I said, they straight told me that if I come back, they were going to make my life a living hell. And they were going to fuck with me every fucking second of every day. Which is why I refused training. Which is why I said, if I go back over there, there's going to be 2 dead sergeants. And he laughed it off, because he's like, yeah, right, sure, kid. And I was like, okay, here's the thing, Captain, that you don't understand. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old. It's the only damn thing I'm good at. With these damn things right here, I done gone to war. I done whooped a lot of motherfuckers who thought they could beat my ass because they was bigger than me. And got training, because you can have all the training in the world and still get your ass kicked by a really good fighter if that fucker knows what he's doing. I was trained by a Green Beret when I was 16. I know my way around a fight. I know how to kill a man with my pinky. That's not a fucking joke. That's a fact. And I told him, y'all got these combatives that y'all teaching us. I said, this shit doesn't work. I was like, well, I said, this shit doesn't work. This shit y'all showing us for fighters, like the Taekwondo shit, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that I learned in Delta, shit doesn't work, yo. Because if you get into combat and you don't know how to keep this when somebody hits you in the fucking face and your recovery time isn't like in the movies, your recovery time is not like that. Your processing power of getting hit in the face is a whole different ball game in a real fight versus training. I understand that. In training, you know it's training. In a real fight, there are no gloves on. They're not handling you with kid gloves. And I said, these guys can outshoot me. No doubt. I said, but these dudes ain't going to stand a chance against me in a fucking fight. I said, I'm going to break every bone in their body, starting with their elbows and kneecaps, because those control the flow of blood. He said, oh, so you're a martial artist? I said, yes. I've been a martial artist since I was 7 years old. I'm 37 now. I never stopped practicing. I train in my damn sleep. He laughed that shit off, called me all kinds of punk bitches, and said, we're going to find a way to CHMS your ass out of the military. And at that time, I really needed to go home because I was ready to kill some drill sergeants. That's not here or there. But the bottom line is they got me in Delta and I was fine. And I didn't want to leave Delta. After I got in Delta, I wanted to stay in Delta. Anyway, moving back on, when you read comments like that, you have to understand if you're not doing something to change the situation, then you're helping the situation fester. You know, if you're complaining about people being whiners, then help them to stop whining by fixing the situation. All right, so we're gonna do maybe one more. No, this one is Z Sanders because I can't pronounce that name. You don't care about our struggle if you got a white woman. She's right and wrong at the same time. If I can get this bitch to work. But she's closer to wrong. Now, I wrote on her thing, she's right and wrong at the same time. I like what she said, but she's right and wrong at the same time because everyone's situation is different, which has been the point of this anthology. Everyone's situation is different because you don't know where someone's coming from in their situation, you know. And the thing about that is that, you know, if you don't know what the person's situation is, you don't know what they're going through coming into the situation. You don't know what they've been through in their own situation, you know. And when you can't see both sides of the fence when you're standing in the middle, you know, you're in the proverbial rock and a hard place, you know. And that's the thing that you have to figure out, you know. And the thing with that is, you know, Miss Sanders seems like she might be a little slightly racist because her next one was leave them white girls alone. Okay, that's some serious bias, which is what we were learning in school on Thursday about bias. You know, my personal bias is this. I think that everybody has an opinion, and when it comes to race, it's overly constructed. So let me end this video because I'm gonna have to go back through some of these videos to check what I said I'd make other videos about. But the fact of the matter is, no matter who you date, some people just are afraid to stand up for their other person's struggle if they are of a different race. And we need to accept that because fear destroys everything. Be seeing you.